Hi everybody, it's me, Whimsy, and I am doing it. I'm so proud of myself. I've been doing my taxes. I thought it would take forever, and it usually does, but I've come up with a new system, so it's going a little faster than normal, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, I thought I would give a brief remote and put something up for people because I missed you all. And so I wanted to put something up. So the first remote that I did, I'm kind of done with Donald Trump, I'll be honest with you. I think we're all kind of bored. But I did do a remote viewing on Donald Trump last night. I'll do it really quickly and then I'll talk about a couple other remote views. This was the map I did of Donald Trump's environment. I just put myself in the shoes of Donald Trump and all of the potential lawsuits or challenges he's currently facing. And I just couldn't help but look at that and think, my gosh, how anybody could come out from under that many lawsuits is just unbelievable. So I will throw really quickly on him. I don't want to spend a lot of time on him because I think we're all kind of tired of it. The other thing I took a look at has to do with, I wanted to throw on the Supreme Court and Cy Vance and whether or not they were going to release the tax returns that Cy Vance had been requesting. And people asked if I could also look at Texas Governor Greg Abbott. I can do that. And of course the weather. We always want to check the weather. As I had mentioned in previous remotes, when I followed the energy, it just felt like mid-February was so difficult for most Americans. And prayers to everybody who is going through things right now, particularly in Texas, even parts of Oregon where I am right now. We still have some people struggling, don't have power. So we're continuing to raise funds for feedamerica.org, and we're continuing to try and connect people through friendsofwhimsy@gmail.com. Thank you to Susan and to Michelle Taylor, Susan Broshin, and everybody else who has helped organize that. It's extremely kind of you. I didn't start that project. It was actually the brainchild of Michelle Taylor and Susan, so I want to give credit to both of them. So I'm going to do the empath prayer, and the first thing I want to do is just take a look at the weather. Sorry about the angle and everything. It's kind of dark. I don't know. It'll be okay. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the planet, for the people we love, but also to help those we have strife with. And together we say, Amen. And I'm just going to throw to see what the weather is like in the United States and if Spirit can give any advice about areas that could be affected or anything more we can do to make sure everyone stays safe in the coming weeks. All right, where the nation is right now. Two of Wands is the base card, working together in community. Two of Wands is about partnership, but you can see, unfortunately, our karma card. The second card is the karma we have to go through, and that is unfortunately the devil, to be chained to situations, relationships, etc. that can be codependent or toxic. Codependent toxic relationships. So I do know that part of what's going on in Texas has to do with the fact that they just didn't prepare for this type of weather. There's also been some discussion about partnerships, the private sector, instead of going with the government. They wanted to be independent. I get that, but unfortunately the deregulation may have had an impact on evidently some of what's happening in Texas. Let's go in and take a look. We can see here the base cards and the first house here, Four of Swords. Not a lot we can do right now with this weather. Four of Swords, hunkering down. It's also a card that I associate with hibernation in the sense that it's about remaining still, meditation. It's a very quiet card. What crosses us right now is a Two of Pentacles. That can be a juggler's card. It's also would be suggesting that at this time there are different emergencies happening in the country, possibly simultaneously, and each part of the country has different needs. It could be a situation where we see FEMA coming in and assisting in different parts of the state. I know FEMA may also be called in to help with vaccination. You can see a nice Empress card coming in, which has to do with abundance. We can also see a Seven of Pentacles here about harvesting coin, which leads me to suspect that we are going to start seeing some assistance from the federal government in these areas, rather than just relying on a state level. I do know that President Biden has been working quite a bit with opening up funds, the Defense Production Act, etc., emergency relief. But unfortunately, for the next couple of days, we could still be seeing trouble getting to certain areas. So again, it just goes back to what I had said in previous remotes: be about your business, take care of yourselves. If people have extra generators, they can share with other people in the community, making sure people have adequate food and water, etc. The next couple days, still a little rocky, but the good news is assistance is coming. You can see that nice Empress coming in the fourth house. Where the nation is right now, we can see we're still digging ourselves out. Eight of Cups. This is a time of transition, both for the country, but also environmentally. I think a lot is going on that is going to force us as a nation to have to really reassess our situation, walking away from existing structures, and also judgments or decisions about that. The hope and the fear for the weather. Three of Wands is kind of a wish card, waiting for one's ship to come in, or waiting for some assistance. The Fool takes a leap of faith. There is this feeling when you look at it that there's a desperate desire for some federal assistance, and I think it's going to be happening probably in about a week, because you can see the Two of Cups coming in and then a partnership card here. So I do think federal aid is going to have to happen to Texas and other areas. I'm particularly concerned about the amount of snow and the amount of water that's coming in, because when I do remotes, I'm very concerned about areas of severe flooding starting to happen, particularly in mid-March. So that brings with it another series of problems with the weather. I'm also concerned with areas of the southeastern United States possibly being hit by another blizzard, in addition to the northeast. So I just want to throw now on the southeastern United States and parts of the northeast, because I have a feeling I feel another cold front coming in from the north. This feels like it's coming in from the northeast. I know there was one coming in from the west, but this feels like it's moving in from the northeast. And it's just pushing down in addition to the other one. And what's happening is that cool air is also getting trapped, it feels like. Yeah, unfortunately, more bad weather is ahead for the eastern and southeastern United States. Again, I'm seeing aid coming in probably from the feds in the next couple of weeks. Like, I just can't stress enough how difficult February has always looked in the meditations. And if people can just hunker down until March, I really do feel like things do start to get better in March. Yes, there's going to be flooding. Yes, there's going to be some whole new group of challenges in March. But overall, I see job opportunities, and also more assistance coming in from the feds, making March all in all much better than February. Just because I keep seeing the Two of Wands, partnership, offers of assistance, the Magician card moving in, be patient. There's still some confusion if you look at the Karma card about how the nation is going to come together, transferring from the new Biden administration to the old administration. I want to do a real quick throw. I don't want to waste more time on it. Donald Trump's cards when it comes to lawsuits looks terrible. So I do want to do a really quick throw of Donald Trump and what's going to be happening with him in the coming days regarding all of these lawsuits. I also suspect that he's already been visited by the FBI and questioned regarding what happened on January 6th. So I'll try and see if that's happened. But I suspect this is what Mitch McConnell had been referring to. If there's a criminal or an FBI investigation into what happened on January 6th, it would make sense that the FBI would visit him in Mar-a-Lago and would be questioning him about it. And I think that's what happened. He's not a happy camper. You can see here his first card is Three of Swords. That can be deep depression. It can even be a suicide. It's also a heart disease. So I'm always concerned about that when I'm doing a health reading. Hanged Man is the base of the matter, and then complete confusion. This is somebody who often gets cards like the Seven of Cups, in the sense that this is someone who often appears karmically. His problem is his delusion. If a person's deluded, they may have trouble making coherent decisions because their decisions are based on delusion and not on reality. I also think that one by one, he could see the loss of some of his friendships. You can see the Five of Pentacles moving in for Donald Trump. I would not be surprised if he started experiencing what he calls fair weather friends. Fair weather friends are people that he may have had strong relationships with when he was ahead, you know, the old soulmates, the old people returning. It's always coming up when you go into the energy of Donald Trump that he feels used, he feels exploited, he feels that he helped others, but they did not help him. He feels like he carried the load for them. And then Three of Swords, he is heartbroken. He wants to put what was behind him with the Queen of Swords, but you can see poverty coming in. This is my, as you know, if you've watched the channel, this is my FBI card, the Hidden Queen. I think he is going to be questioned, if he hasn't already, by the FBI. And there's something about him trying to get money or an opportunity to make money. You can see his cards here, with the final outcome being an Ace of Pentacles, which is a money card, and a Lover's card, which would suggest some type of a relationship or opportunity to come together and work with somebody else. See, he's always wheeling and dealing. I would not be surprised if this person tried to get another reality show or some kind of other show through some of these alternative news networks. You can see also here Tower moving in his 8th house. Somebody in relationship to him, new beginnings that are causing a shakeup in his relationships, his hope and fear, his alliances, and possibly also his marriage, and new alliances, new relationships. I don't usually do this, but I am gonna, just because I'm a little curious, I'm gonna look at whether or not Donald Trump and Melania stay together. I don't know why, I'm just curious. They say she wants to get a divorce. I don't know. Let's look at his marriage real fast. His marriage right now, heartbreak. She's done, Melania, the divorcee. She presents as the divorcee or the widow. Yeah, there's a feeling here that a decision could be made by her, and it looks like that she feels like she is in a strong position to make a decision going forward. She It came out of a situation of victory. She's going into a decision that will be positive. She felt like before she had been trapped in a situation she couldn't get out of. The juggler, juggling coin. Here comes a possible police raid. There's some kind of event that's going to happen possibly with Donald Trump. It could even be police presence, and she's aware of it. Her hope and her fear, her business. This is also somebody who is refusing to work or refusing to cooperate in her marriage. You can see the final outcome here, 4 of Cups, which is a rejection of the offer. I see this relationship ending because of this. It really does have an aspect to it where it's become kind of the business, the business of being a wife, rather than a romantic relationship. It's interesting. It looks like he hires this person. Every time I look at Melania's cards, it's almost like she's an employee, and that the relationship may come to an end. The last thing I wanted to throw on before I close out is the Supreme Court versus Cy Vance, or Cy Vance versus the Supreme. What is it? Well, it was written as Cy Vance. So Supreme Court is holding on to tax records that are being requested from Cy Vance out of New York. I do get the feeling when I went into the energy, I'll show you the mind map one more time, the remote viewing. You can see when you look at the map in the top corner that the main area of vulnerability I felt was tax evasion. What also I felt when I went into Donald Trump's energy was that he had come up with ways to hide money by being paid, and then the money was stored in foreign bank accounts. So a lot of what you're seeing up here is just ways he hid money, and he's vulnerable to being outed. And this is part of what they're looking at. It's not just about being compromised. It's about hiding money in foreign banks, being paid, and then the money is hidden in these bank accounts, which he may not be declaring to the feds. So let's take a look. Will Cy Vance get his financial records from the Supreme Court? There's a feeling here, for whatever reason, that the feds felt like they couldn't proceed. There's some confusion here. It's not like the feds have made a decision either way, but something about the filing of briefs, something about confusion about what's supposed to go where, or there was a change. The Constitution or the ethos, it's not about being conservative or not conservative. This is the ethos in the Constitution. There's some confusion here. There's genuine confusion on what they can and can't do because it's a state decision. I think that's why. Walking away from the coin juggler. I feel like that the issue that they're having a problem with is almost like not everyone agreed that they should take this case. There's a problem with whether or not this is, I think that they're going to release it, but there was some kind of a discussion about whether or not what fell under the Supreme Court and what did not. That seems whether or not it was relevant. That I don't exactly know what I'm seeing, but that seems to be it. Watching the coin. Take a look at these cards. You see the cards? Confusion, and then the Constitution. This is from the Supreme Court's perspective, so you can see what they're dealing with. And then you can see they didn't even want to take this case. Look at that. And then here's the juggler who was juggling the coin. So again, it's almost like let the IRS fraud people take care of this. Let somebody else take care of this. It's almost like we don't know what to do with this because we don't usually get these situations of watching the coin. This almost looks like tax auditors, forensic examining. These are the people that need to be looking at it. Not the Supreme Court's only job is to determine whether or not it's in their jurisdiction to make that they're supposed to be the ones deciding this, and I think that they're going to decide to hand it over, because you can see the Six of Pentacles moving in relationship to what? Here's Cy Vance, the Ace of Pentacles, the money, the hopes and the fears, trusting in the courts, and then here's the new contract or the new evidence being presented. But I do think that Trump did send his lawyers in to try and potentially put a stop to this. You can see there's some kind of a disruption or shock when it happens. Here's justice, information coming out with the coin. And then the final outcome over the contract, here's the FBI. So and that's a 3-week, that's a new contracts, new information, and it can also be read as 3 weeks because it's a pentacle. So I'm going to go ahead and tentatively say that with these cards, the Supreme Court will most likely side with Cy Vance, and he will probably get the financial records. And I think the biggest threat to Donald Trump, based on these cards and based on the remote viewing I did last night, the biggest threat to him has to do with the IRS and forensic examiners going in and finding missing money. That is his biggest threat. I also think that because of the January 6th insurrection, he probably will be visited many, many times by the FBI, and it poses a serious problem in the future. Also, individual one, he's probably facing that as well. I do know that Michael Cohen was involved in criminal investigations. He was cooperating because I did remote views on that as well. Those cases are still ongoing. All right, so that's basically everything I have for everybody. Thanks for sticking with me, and I know many people prefer the tapes, so I'm trying to do as many taped videos as well as I can. If you're still trying to get in for a reading with me, I would love to give you a reading, and you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com/services. It's right below the information. Just click on that and you can make an appointment. All right, take care everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye. Peace out.